Hello, everyone. I'm here with Tyler Malone of the San Diego Padres. It's an honor to have you here on our fifth episode of Meeting the Keep Smiling Supporters. How have you been, Ty?
I've been doing good, just trying to hang in there and, getting that work in. We don't know how this is all going to end up, but just got to stick with it. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Let's get right into it with your high school year. You tore it up all league senior year, 387, 14 doubles, 3 homers, 19 RBIs, and you ended up going to Oregon State University, as I can see the jersey in the back. That's fire. Yeah. Was there any other colleges that reached out to you?
Yeah, it was the whole recruiting thing happened to me really quick. Because I was playing on some scout teams here in the Sacramento area because I'm from Sacramento, California. But there was just kind of like one game where I hit like my first big boy home run with the wood bat. And the teams that were there was like UCLA, USC, just tons of teams were there. And when that all happened, it basically just exploded. But it was an interesting situation with Oregon State because one of a kid that I played on my team with, my NorCal team, he knew a guy who his dad was taking up a team to play at Oregon State like in the middle of the summer. It was like an 18 and over kind of like high school senior in lingo type of team, but they were going up there and then they needed like 5 extra players. So he reached out to my friend on my team if 5 of us would want to go up there. And we like finished the tournament like on Sunday at 10 p.m. at night and just hopped in the car, drove up to Oregon, took like 8 hours, got there at 6, woke up at 8 and played. And that's where they first saw me. And the rest is history, I guess.
Was it Pat Casey himself or?
That was funny. Like Pat was like, I don't even remember seeing him, honestly. I think he was like incognito. Like we had like our main like section down like near the field, and then there's like a walkway and then like bleachers. I don't know if you've seen Goss before, but like the stairs going up to the bleachers, there's like a little shaded area under there.
Yeah.
And I think he was just kind of like hiding over there, like staying in the shade.
They're real good at that though, the coaches.
Yeah. Yeah, they gotta find a way, but it's just crazy how it all came together.
You had some pretty big moments for Oregon State. I'm going to review it real quick. You brought home their 3rd national title. You hit a 3-run homer. Wait, no. First you hit a home run against UNC to put a nail in the coffin in the 2018. What was that feeling like first of all? Yeah,
it was crazy because, me and the guys, we even still talk about it. Like that game, it was crazy because we made that comeback like in the late innings, and it all kind of started when there was like a light drizzle. It like kind of started to rain, and it was crazy because we felt like we were at home a little bit because in Oregon we were playing in rain all the time, and so we called it like the magic mist or like the mystic mist. And but yeah, I was able to hit that home run and kind of put the nail in the coffin. But it was kind of cool how we felt like we kind of had a little home field advantage right there because of the rain.
And then you hit a bomb against Mississippi State in the semifinal game. What was that like?
Yeah, that was actually super funny because like I'll even watch like the video of it back today. But like when I first initially hit that ball, I didn't think it was going out. Like it was in the deep part of the stadium. Like not a lot of balls get out that way. It was in right center. So if you watch the video of it, I'm like booking it. Like I'm booking it.
Yeah, you're around first. Book it. I was watching it for the day.
I was booking it, and then I see the guys like run into each other. McNamee and Mangum like ran into each other, and it was actually funny because I just saw McNamee in Nashville over New Year's, and we were talking about it. But they like ran into each other, so I thought the ball got down, and like I looked at my third base coach around at third, and I'm still booking it, and he's like clapping his hands, and I was like, wait, like did that ball get out? And I look back, and they're just like not doing anything. So I was like, oh, I guess that ball got out, but it was literally got out by like 2 feet. Like barely got out.
And then you went on, of course, to the national championship versus Arkansas. I was actually watching all the College World Series down there. I was in Virginia playing in a summer league, and all these college kids we were watching. It was crazy. You had a bunch of kids from Arkansas who were a bunch of Razorback fans. So
yeah,
it goes so well, the end game. But it was win or go home game 2. And that last inning was nuts. That drop fly ball. I mean,
Yeah.
what was going through your guys' mind, like on the bench? Like, 'cause I mean, I was watching that game. I wanted you guys to win. I was a OSU fan that year, and I was just like, I need them to win. But then I just saw the ball drop. I was going nuts.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, the second the ball went up, we're like, we're done, right? But I mean, like looking back at it, like, you know, Arkansas like will get a lot of crap for that play and stuff like that. And I mean, ultimately they'll have to live like with that forever. But that's not an easy play by any means. Especially like for baseball players, like that's what we call like kind of that Bermuda Triangle area. And I mean, from like a fan's perspective, you know, it's like, oh, they dropped a fly ball. Well, those fly balls get dropped all the time. Like big leaguers drop those balls all the time. So, I mean, it was a tough play, but I mean, luckily like the ball dropped and we were all in the dugout and like, it's like we didn't like say it. We didn't freak out. It's just like everybody stayed like super quiet and like kind of looked at each other, and it was like, dang, like did that just happen type of thing. And I feel like anybody who's been in baseball for a while, like in a situation like that with, you know, Caden, like such a great player up to bat like that, you knew something was gonna happen. Like you knew it was gonna get hit. Yeah. Like you can't give him that extra life. Exactly. So he got the hit. Everybody's freaking out, bro. Like I've never had so much adrenaline in my life. Like it was absolutely crazy. And then Trevor hit that home run and like put us ahead. And like
you were the first one off the bench. I was like, I don't even.
You're like, it's like blurred. Like I had the towel. I was like hopping up and down. Like I was basically on the first baseline, and like basically the entire team was all the way out on the field. And gosh, that was just like a crazy comeback. Yeah, just unreal.
And then Kevin Abel shoved in game 3. And then, I mean, how confident were you in him to get the job done? I mean,
because he was pitching great.
That whole run,
college series run. The whole college series run, he was pitching really good. And it was just crazy because like the hype of the second game, and I mean going into that third game, like Abel was just dealing, like he wasn't getting touched, and like we were able to put like quite a few runs up. I think it was like 5 runs, but it was weird going from game 2 to game 3 because game 2 had so much like hype and, you know, action, and where like I feel like game 3 was like, oh, it's the 9th inning now type of thing, where it's like, oh, 2 outs, oh, there's the 3rd out, we got to go run out there. But yeah, when we ran out there and, you know, did the dog pile, you know, it's just something that that was even coming back from like the year prior when we lost before. Like we've just been, that was our goal and our mission. And I mean, even because the year before, you know, we lost to LSU those 2 times. And so the year following, when we got back to school, like in the fall, our whole thing was to break on finish, basically like finish the job, get the job done type of thing. And it was cool because our last break, we said finished, like we did the job. And, but yeah, it was super special.
You have the ring on you.
I mean, I could get the ring. It doesn't come out much. Here. Let's see. Yeah, I try to not take it too many places. And I'm not the type of guy who's just gonna like randomly, you know, start wearing it on the. Let's see here.
Are you at your house or? Ooh.
Yeah, I'm just at home. So it says OSU right there. And then it says character, and it's got the College World Series emblem right there. And then it says Malone 7. And you see how it says finished on the top right there?
Yes.
Yeah, that was kind of our thing. And then it has the games on the inside and all the teams. And then it has like it says like all tournament team on it too on the inside. But yeah, it's a double decker. It's pretty heavy.
Yeah. And then you got drafted 2019 by the Padres. What was that like for you and your family? I mean, dream come true, probably. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, my junior year was rough. Like, I didn't play the best that I wanted to. I mean, for the longest time, I thought I was going to go back to school, and then like a month before, all these teams started coming out of nowhere. I mean, the year prior helped, and but yeah, it's just I feel like being able to accomplish everything that I did, or as we did as teams, you know, at Oregon State, and then still having this great opportunity to play pro ball. I felt like, you know, I had to take it. And yeah, like you said, it's a lifelong dream that I've had forever, but I didn't, you know, baseball gets tough, you know, going back for that senior year, because you could, you know, have an absolutely great year and basically get nothing. So I felt like what I was getting offered and, you know, just the experiences that I had at Oregon State, it was a good time to go. And yeah, the Padres, I mean, my first year was great. I'm making that transition to catcher though. I didn't know if you knew that, but
I saw the pictures on your Instagram as a catcher.
Yeah.
But then like, 'cause they had some websites have you listed as a first baseman. Like
So I mean, I'm just kind of that utility guy. So I mean, I went into Oregon State as an infielder. My junior year, going into my junior year, Bales hits me up and is like, "Hey, like, what are your thoughts about playing outfield? We have tons of outfielders leaving." So my junior year was really the first time I've ever played outfield before. That went pretty well. And then going into the draft, I kind of just sent video out of me catching type of thing just to show it, because I'm a left-handed hitter, and that's kind of seen as a commodity in baseball for some reason. The left-handed hitting catchers. So I was kind of just trying to show that a little bit. And, you know, the Padres like that a lot. So when I was basically learning the craft and, you know, trying to figure out catching, I was playing outfield and first base a lot. So most of I went to Arizona, I went to rookie ball. So most of the defensive stuff that you've seen there is probably, either outfield or first base. I mean, I still only have like 19 innings under my belt. My first game catching, I caught like 5 innings in the last game of our rookie ball season. And then I got invited to instructs and caught 14 there. So still got some ways to go, but I'm liking it a lot.
Did you catch before that at all, or?
I caught when I was 12, but bro, like, it's not even close. But it was super funny because when the first day I got there, I looked at the schedule and it was like early work 1:00, Malone bullpen 2:45. So the first day I got there, I had to catch like our third rounder who was throwing like 93, 94 that day, and I somehow made it out alive. I don't know, but those first like 3 months, bro, it was like just trying to survive back there. And then I eventually started to figure out the timing and the techniques and the art and stuff, and it started coming along.
So you're feeling pretty comfortable behind the dish now? Or?
Yeah, I like it a lot. Just the art of receiving. I kind of took it for granted before, and just, you know, you didn't put as much emphasis on it. I mean, growing up, I'd always, when you'd watch baseball games, right, you would watch the pitcher and the hitter. Yeah. But like now, my eyes go straight to the catcher because I try to pick up. Yeah, it's such an art. Such an art.
Well, what has been your coolest pro moment so far for you?
Coolest pro moment?
Or like that you realize like, oh, I'm finally a pro kind of thing, like the moment.
Yeah. I think the cool thing being in Arizona was like I got to play in like all the spring training, like major league stadiums, right? So when we go to Brewers, we play at their stadium. We played at, you know, the A stadium. We played at obviously ours. But it's just cool. It's kind of because it truly came full circle. Because I remember playing in tournaments because the Padres are in Peoria, Arizona, and all of the big all the big tournaments growing up in Arizona were played at the Peoria Padres and Mariners like complex. Mm-hmm. So I was playing back on those fields, you know, when I was 14, 15, 16.
The old stomping grounds kind of thing.
I know. And it's like, it's super cool to kind of see it come full picture, full circle, and get to play on them again, just in a different uniform now.
What's like the traveling life like for?
Yeah. So like for me, bro, like I haven't experienced the true grind yet because I've stayed in Arizona. So like I said, we just kind of hop around to all the different spring training facilities. So my longest drive was like 45 minutes, you know, to Mesa. But that's not bad at all. I mean, our days, we're looking like, you know, go to the field around noon or 1 and probably leaving around 9:30 or 10. But it was just kind of like that. So, at least you could kind of sleep in, and I was trying to get some of my classes done in the morning because I'm still trying to finish up.
Yeah. But I'm guessing you're online too now with some of the classes, or?
Yeah. So I mean, even through college, most of my classes were online. That was kind of the cool thing about Oregon State. I know a lot of guys aren't like that. Like I was talking to my friend from Cal, they didn't really have any online. Same with a guy from UCSB. But so I mean, I was either taking all of my classes online, or I would take like 3 online and 1 in person type of thing. So at least I'm, adjusted and comfortable with the whole online thing. So nothing's really changed in that aspect.
For you now, what has been like the biggest adjustment from college to pro ball?
Yeah. I don't know. Probably just like being in like weird places, in the sense that like I'm living in a hotel. Like that's, I was in a hotel for 3 months type of thing, and you kind of are just in the same area. And it's not kind of that like homie vibe where, at least in college, like you have a house and like you have your friends and like you go to different places. It's like, no, you got the hotel, and then you got the Chipotle, and you got the Chick-fil-A. And then it's like, oh, it's like basically you're trying to figure out what new place to eat at, when it's like, because you just have all the same stuff. So, I mean, it's probably just being in an environment that's like, I don't know, it's just different. But like I said, I'm in Arizona too. So, I mean, once I go to affiliates or whatnot, they're going to be like actual towns. So it may be a little different. But, I mean, from a playing perspective, like I feel like it's been an easy transition. And I feel like that's just because of, how I was able to mature as just like a person through college. And that's like one of the things that I'm super fortunate about, is just like how much I grew as a person, and just matured through the process. So I feel like the transition from college to pro ball was and is a lot easier than going from the high school to pro ball type of thing.
Awesome. I also see you run the page, The Journey.
Okay.
How big has your faith life impacted you throughout your baseball career? Has it? Yeah. I know for me, it's kept me grounded throughout all the struggles and stuff. So
for sure, bro. Like, I mean, I grew up in a Christian family, but I mean, we'd go to church, on Sundays when we could. But I mean, most of my, I was usually playing tournaments on the weekend or whatever. But the grind. But like, my faith like grew the strongest from like a relationship aspect with Jesus my freshman year, because I mean, looking back at it, I was probably depressed, bro. Like I mean, I was away from home for the first time. I wasn't playing well or playing up to my expectations, like even close to what I wanted to. Our coaches were super hard on me because they felt like, that I could be a great player type of thing. So they were pushing me. And that's something that I wasn't necessarily used to. Trying to fit in with the guys and like wanting to be liked type of thing. You're putting all these pressures on you. And I don't know, I just felt like I kind of just sectioned myself off from anything or everything, because I didn't feel like I was able to handle it, or like I was handling it the right way type of thing. But luckily, we had like a team chaplain or whatever. So we would do Bible studies once a week, and I just kind of really got close to him and got involved with real life and stuff like that. And just in that time, I just realized that I was putting all of these false realities in my head that weren't true, but I believe them, whether it was, oh, I'm not a good baseball player, or I'm not a good baseball player anymore. This person doesn't like me. Oh, because I was doing like a long distance relationship thing too at the time. So I was always stressing out about that. And I was just creating all these false realities in my head where it's like, none of these are true, but you're telling yourself that they're true, and it just cripples you and holds you back. So that's when I really dove into my faith and understood that like God made each and every one of us for a reason and a purpose. And if you're trying to, be somebody you're not, or you're even holding yourself back from being your true self, like he doesn't have that true ability to use you to reach your full potential and your true purpose type of thing. Because I just believe like you could easily like miss God's calling by being in your own head and like holding yourself back. So that was the time that I really just kind of like let go and let Jesus take over. And I just found so much peace and understanding that, God and Jesus are in control type of thing. And that's when it went from my identity being in baseball to my identity being in Jesus, because I didn't like how my game, like whether I would play good or bad, you know, it would translate off the field. So if I played horrible, I just kind of section myself off, and I'm like, I can't keep dealing with this
Yeah,
up
like
and down.
let it define baseball, let it define your mood kind of thing, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's super easy. Like we're all competitive. We all want to play really well all the time, right? So it's like the second we do bad, we get all angry and, you know, throw a fit and section ourselves off from everything, where it's like, in reality, what good is that doing? Absolutely nothing. And that just kind of made me miserable. So, but at the same time, like, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and it made me grow so much stronger in my faith type of thing. But yeah.
I mean, same story for me kind of thing, about a lot of pressures coming out, moving out my first year of college kind of thing. It was rough, but now I'm closer to God.
Yeah, exactly.
I got one last question for you. For any words of advice for the people watching this about chasing the dream, what is your biggest thing?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like the biggest thing, and like, because of kind of like what I went through my freshman year and just kind of that doubt in myself and lack of confidence, it's like, just truly believe in yourself no matter what. Especially in sports, like, you have to have that edge to you because of how much we fail, right? Like, it doesn't have to be cocky in any way, but there's a huge difference between confidence and cocky. Like, confidence is going to remain, you know, no matter what you go through. You know, if you fail, if you struggle, that confidence is going to stay there because, you know, like, you're a good player. And I feel like, and what I've developed is, like, it's not cocky to believe in yourself and believe that you're a good player, right? Because I feel like a lot of people who accomplish great things, like, have to believe in themselves. So no matter what you go through, I mean, as hard as it is, like, I'm the first person to say, like, it gets super hard to, you know, maintain that. But as much as you possibly can, just believe in yourself and believe in your abilities, basically.
Well, that's all for today. Thank you for joining me, Tyler. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Hopefully one day we meet in person, or if I come out to Cali kind of thing. So
for sure. Cali, Arizona, or wherever I am.
I'll be sure.
Who knows? Baseball will take you to.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for joining me.
No problem. Yeah, no problem.